In a major development, US government agencies have now confirmed that China has set up dual-use villages along the border with Arunachal Pradesh, facilities that can in fact be used by both the civilians as well as troops of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. The recently released US Department of Defense report on China has raised several concerns over Beijing's aggressive overtures along the line of actual control bordering India. Well, the report submitted to the US Congress mentions the setting up of a Chinese village with 100 households at Upper Siang reaches along Arunachal Pradesh sometime in 2020. The village in question was detected nearly a year back at the upper reaches of Subansiri near the river Sari Chu. And despite border clashes with India and other significant events taking place in 2020, the PLA has further accelerated its training and fielding of equipments in the border area. The US report also says that China in the past few years has used coercion to settle its border issues. The report also states that China has been blaming India for increased infrastructure build-up along the border area. The US Defence Department report also states that Chinese authorities are approaching issues with India with utmost discretion as it fears a further escalation of tensions would push India closer to the United States. Beijing has also warned the US not to meddle in Sino-Indian matters. Well, 2020 was an eventful year in Indo-Chinese relations. The People's Liberation Army used the tensions and the clashes along the Indian border to build up force and enforce and establish their forward positions. China has also used the opportunity to link these areas with fast fiber optic connections to mobilize and respond doubly quicker to any event in the border areas, including near the Arunachal border. The report observes that although both sides have time and again tried to de-escalate, however, troops' presence has not gone down even a bit. New Delhi has obviously taken note of the Chinese build-up along the LAC. In recent weeks, the Indian Army invited journalists to carry to certain forward positions along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh and had demonstrated India's military power and preparedness along the Chinese frontier. Arunachal BJP MP Tapir Gao had said earlier this year that the Chinese have been holding on to a stretch where this dual-use village has been established in the year 1962. Tapir Gao had also said that India should push to make the McMahon line the border between the two nations. And meanwhile, a Lok Sabha MP from Arunachal Pradesh, Tapir Gao, spoke to our editor-in-chief, Wasbir Hussain, on the issue and gave his perspective into the entire development. Listen in.
I am now joined by Mr. Tapir Gao, BJP MP from Arunachal Pradesh, a very vocal political leader on Indo-China affairs. Mr. Tapir Gao,
Yes.
The US Department of Defense has submitted a report recently to the US Congress where it has confirmed earlier reports in the media about the Chinese, building villages close to the border with Arunachal Pradesh.
Yeah. See, I have made this statement in the parliament also and outside the parliament also. It has been confirmed through the satellite, from the satellite also, that the China are constructing along the McMahon line more than 100 villages, 100 houses in the Upper Subansiri district. And in the Anjo district also, in Upper Siang also, in all along the McMahon line, China is constructing these houses for dual use. If any consequence arises, then the militarily they will use, and the inhabitants of that area can also use these houses along the McMahon line. So the U.S. Congress has also the defense, U.S. defense has also made it and recommend to the U.S. Senate Congress that it has been proved. So our government of India is also taking it very serious. So if any consequence arises, So we are also ready for this issue. So I think the government of India is taking care of the situations along the Mekong line in Arunachal Pradesh.
The US Defense Department report also says that the Chinese are using coercive tactics to try and resolve the border dispute with India.
Yeah.
Now, year 2021 is not 1962 because the Indian Army has developed a lot. Indian Army is fully capable of defending the borders. So, do you think we need not be so worried like we used to be earlier?
See, the Jinping should also realize that the India is headed by Narendra Modi ji. So this is not 1962. Our militarily, India is fully well equipped, and earlier in 62 we don't have road communications along the border. But today, 2-lane roads, advanced landing grounds, and all military equipments are present in Arunachal Pradesh. So we need not worry because militarily and diplomatically, our government is doing the best. So we need not be in panic. So China have to think twice if they entered and cross the Mekong line again.
Right. Mr. Tapigao, thank you very much for speaking to Northeast Live.
And meanwhile, a Pasighat MLA Ninong Ering also spoke to Northeast Live and stated that India is prepared for any eventuality and China is isolated in its claim over Indian territories on the global platform.
This issue is always there. But of course now why the American defense has taken up this issue could be because of the G20 summit, could be our influence of the IPAC. So here I'll just say that whatever the US have confirmed, they are saying that their intelligence report has confirmed that there are villages along the Chinese villages which have been constructed, infrastructure has been constructed so that villages will be pushed into this. And if villages are not pushed into this, then it can be used for defense purposes later on also. So we have always had issues that they are going to recruit even people along the Indo-Tibetan border. They said South China, and that issue also had come out. But as far as I am concerned is that Arunachal Pradesh has now, the defense system have been improved. Of course, 1962 war cannot be now just compared with the present situation. We just heard that howitzer guns and buffers guns also have been already placed along the border of in Tawang or in Mechuka, in Geling, in Kibito. So we are, frankly speaking, nobody wants a war now. And the last person or the last country that would like to have war is China. I think the Chinese government also, it's about time they realize that Arunachal is part and parcel of India, and this issue of developing the infrastructure along the borders of Arunachal Pradesh, or even the roads, or even the trains. You can see one train has been, a super fast train has been made from Lhasa to Yangtze, where our proposed dam is also going to come up. So these issues, if we always have a kind of ill feeling with us, and the way that the Chinese diplomats are speaking, it is a very wrong message. And we have now just had a G20 summit. There itself, all the countries are against the decisions of China, against the policies of China. So it is about time China realizes the world is against them and they must rectify themselves. If not, then at a later stage, if there is an end of the war, the full blame goes to China.